Hey y'all, Chemology here. It is December 30th, one day before the last day of the year, and I am feeling that. I have been feeling that. And I'm setting myself up for my next challenge. And you may be familiar that I am currently doing a challenge, which is what I have referred to as the end of year challenge, which is a special challenge because it has been 30 plus 30 days, because challenges are 30 days, so it can't be 60 days, it's 30 days. And I've been doing that for the last 59 days, and I have done this for 2 years now, and each year I also do, it's like a whole time, it's like end of year and beginning of year and things that I do for each, and one contributes to the other. And with the end of the year challenge about to finish, I am setting myself up for this beginning of year challenge and offering it again to you if it resonates. And some things that stood out to me today that feel a little bit like figurines, like I figured some things out, I wanted to share with you as part of my explanation about what this challenge will be. So for years now, and I don't right now have the fact of how many it has been, I have not gone out for New Year's. It's been years since I have gone out and done like a traditional or typical New Year's Eve party and the ball drop and all that. At some point years ago, I stayed in, and every year since I have stayed in, and it's become this time where I like clear the space and make it nice and light some candles, and I make this big workspace, which is usually like a card table that's popped up in my small space living room, and I pile all my journals on it and any books or other references or materials or things that I have resonated with or used. There's usually some rocks there and other little like totems or baubles that I am attracted to. And I make it a very aesthetic, symbolic, meaningful space. And I basically go through, and over the years I have added on to this system, but in the shortest version of it, it's that I reflect on the previous year, which often includes, to some extent, in different ways, previous years. Like all of my life is somewhat represented in this reflection, but it's specifically a reflection of the year that is ending. And I start by looking to do a summary and seeing what stands out, and I have like a whole system and the things that I go through to check. Like I go through all my pictures, I go through all my notes, I go through my journals. I don't necessarily read everything, but I scan all these places where I've had all this work throughout the year, and I make like a messy catch-all thing. And I think I'm actually getting a little too much into the process, but the point is, that is what I will share in my process that I will do with a small group for the beginning of the year. But what I think was by illuminating figurine that I wanted to share is that the new year has all this like new year, new me, high intensity, grand gesture type resolution energy. And as much as I have for a long time thought I have worked against that, like didn't want to participate in the trend, which is just me being contrarian. Like I can't, it's not can't, but I typically don't seem to be able to just get on a wagon that exists. I got to make my own wagon. And so as much as I thought I was resisting that trend, I think I probably wasn't. And often during this process, it'll be like weeks or even months into the new year, and I will be feeling bad about myself and my process because I haven't finished certain parts of it. And today, as I was like setting up for my stuff, I was like, I actually read something that someone was talking about, like the time of the years, like the season, the seasonality and the symbolism of the season, and it really resonated with me. And I had this aha moment where I was like, it totally makes sense that it's like I intuitively had the process, but I was still fighting against myself because I had these underconscious ideas of what I should be doing. And they weren't bad shoulds, but they were probably underthought shoulds. Like, they weren't really my shoulds, but I hadn't seen them that way. So for instance, I would have a great time and it would be easy, and it would be like this, it would be the thing that would get done would be the reflection part, and like the summarizing and the like exploring the year and seeing what stood out and little trends or whatever. And that whole thing, that was fun and easy, and that was the part that got done. And what got done later, or I would be like, this isn't done, it's middle of February, what are you doing? I would feel bad about myself for not having it done. And what I think I see today is that it makes complete sense if you think about it in terms of the symbolism of the winter. Like, winter as a cliche and symbolically is said to be a time of darkness and slowness and rest and hibernation and all these things that are more insular and less activity. And spring is a time of birth and growth and activity, and new things are coming out, and warmth and outwardness. And that seems to be more the time of energized, like, intention and active intention setting and goal setting. So if I was feeling resistant to like the part that I was like not doing of my like system, or that was like taking longer to do, was the like intentioning part of it. So this was just all a self-observation I had that related to the time of year, because I see myself as being drawn to delineations in time, whether it's a new moon or a full moon or a birthday or a winter solstice or a summer solstice or a change of seasons or a change of year, whatever it is. I like to relate to a delineation of time and give it meaning and symbolism to line myself up with. And so it makes sense that I would be doing that for all these things, the new year included. And I think it was lost on me that the energy that was naturally coming from me was more the type of energy that was not aligned for the time of year. So I guess I felt like it made sense, and I felt excited because whenever I see something as I was doing something naturally or intuitively that I was feeling resistance to, and then I see a reason that I was doing it, I just feel smart, or like I was on the right track or whatever. So this was one of those moments for me. And so my invitation to you is, if you have seen me do this process, or you have heard me talk about the process, or you just know my work in general and therefore would be interested in the process, I will share with a small group in a guided challenge format my beginning of year process and system. And I will tell you that it will be different in that it's not this like gung-ho, goal-defining, we're gonna get 5 to 10 year plans and nail this one year and crush it, and like, it's not that energy. Instead, my energy for setting up a new year is going slow and being reflective. I do a big reflection, and I walk you through a lot of ways to do that, a lot of things to look at, posing a lot of questions to ask and consider, and really summarizing like all that you are at the present, so that you can use your past and your current collective self to inform your future by considering all of that, and then setting your intentions from that space. And that is a slow process, and I wouldn't say a low intensity process, because it is exciting and there is vigor there, but it's a different kind of vigor than crushing it and goal setting and like that. And that is what I resist at this time of year most of my life, probably. Like, I've never been a crushing it goal, like all that language is disresonant for me. But it doesn't mean that I don't do that in other ways, and it doesn't mean that no intentions will be set during this beginning of year process. That will happen. I'm just emphasizing that I think my system has a very different energy than the new year, new me, and the thing that makes me make a fist when I describe it. It's not that. It's You're going to spread out and go slow and look around, feel and consider and think. That feels like the vibe of what I'm offering and what I do. So if that's interesting to you, sign up. It will be starting, oh, and I love this. I always love the lineups that I don't plan for. So today is the new moon, and so that makes sense that I'm like working on starting the next thing. And New Year's Day is 2 days from now. So new moon energy is still very much here and available. So I'm going to start my beginning of year process fully and officially on Thursday the 2nd. That's because, I mean, I'm going to start a little earlier, but that will give me some time to prepare the content for the group space. But I also want to start on the 2nd because it gives you time to do whatever you already plan to do for your New Year celebration. I don't want to interrupt anyone necessarily out of the party you have planned or the hangover you'll have the day after. I want this to be like a clear and energized space. So I think starting on the 2nd feels really good. And then we're going to do it as a 10-day focus, which is also pretty different for me. I've always done things in like 30-day stretches, but this feels like a 10-day intensity thing. And I think it feels right for that time frame also because you can do it kind of leisurely over a longer span of time, but I won't necessarily be providing content for the additional time. Although now that I'm recording this, I'm wondering about that, if I should just do it as 30 days. I don't think so. I think I'm going to offer 10 days. I'm going to offer 10 days of this process, sharing what it is with you. It will start on the 2nd and it will end on the 11th. That's 10 days, which means that you have like a gap day, and then you're starting your year on the Monday the 13th, which is the beginning of the week. Again, with me and the delineations of time, the beginning of a week is a good time to start, although any time is a good time to start something. And guess what that day is? It's also the full moon. So you'll be starting this in the new moon, which is the dark place where it's a good time to start and begin things, and that will grow until the full moon. And so you're going to grow these new year ideas for yourself that will be fully illuminated on the full moon on the 13th, and that will be the beginning of the year. So I like that symbolic lineup. So 10 days, but you can spread it over 30, and the program is going to be $100. You can contact me in any of the ways that you know or see me online. And if you have any questions about it, ask, and I will give you more information to help you make your decision. Whatever you decide to do, this is what I'm doing. And if you would like to do it with me or use any of my energy or information to do your own version, that's what is being offered. Okay, energy to you for whatever a new year is to you. Ciao for now.